networking, which is an initiative, yet another initiative that has been taken up by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, who has been not leaving any stone unturned for the development and the progress of the university. And I hope that we will take up these initiatives and from here onwards and continue the good work so that our university becomes visible and vibrant also in the area of research and collaborations, so that the university grows. Thank you, sir, Professor Mukka Jagannath Rao Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University. Since your arrival, we have seen a lot of academic progress, though the COVID has been stopping us in the form of lockdowns, but yet we continue our stride under your guidance and leadership. Thank you very much, sir. And to mention, the foremost example is the review, the online classes. You insisting us, the faculty members, to conduct the online classes, and we were very comfortable in presenting ourselves when the special CS higher education has taken up a review. Because I think I should take this opportunity to thank you, because that meeting went on very smoothly, and we did not have any to listen to any negative remarks from the higher education, especially from the special CS. Thank you very much, sir. And once again, I welcome you all to this online program. I don't call it as, it is only an expert talk. So what the university is looking forward now. And now I welcome Professor S. Teki, sir, who is the principal of University College of Arts and Commerce and also the convener for Board of Research Studies, to give the opening remarks.
Thank you, Professor Ramneshwari Madam. Esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Mukka Jagannath Rao Garu, faculty colleagues, and the respected guest Behra Satyanarayan Garu, and other resource persons. Indeed, it is our great privilege to host, to conduct the capacity building program. You know, after being working at the two national capacity building institutions like Indian Institute of Forest Management, Bhopal, and National Institute of Financial Management, Delhi, because those are the two institutions. The mandate of those institutes is to, build the capacity of Indian bureaucrats. And I had 12 years of, building the capacity of Indian bureaucrats. Now, how I appreciate what the capacity building. Capacity building is a family building. Capacity building is society building. Capacity building is nations building. Capacity building is the world building. What do you mean by capacity building? In the sense the skills and maybe the soft skills or physical skills of if it is a family, children. So that's what we keep on saying. If you don't give fixed assets like land, buildings, and gold ornaments to the children, doesn't matter. But give them a good education, give them a good skill, build them a good, capacity, so that that is enough. If you give an acre of land and building, they may dispose it of. But when you build a capacity, so they will be long lasting and they are inseparable. So that is how, whether it's a family or a society or a nation, capacity building is what's important. That's what it reminds me an anecdote called, don't give the fish when your child is hungry, but rather you teach them, or you ask him to learn how to catch the fish. There's a lot of difference giving fish as and when the child is hungry. So he never gets anything and he never learns anything. He doesn't contribute to the family or a society. But instead of asking him, let him trouble initially, let him struggle. But if he or she once knows how to catch the fish is no longer dependent on. So same is the case with the society, same is the case with the national building. So which is very much important and relevant. I really congratulate Dr. Ramneshwari Garu aptly bringing this thing. And behind all these things, the motivator and the steward is none other than our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Mokka Jagannath Rao Garu. So far, we have dwelt on national level and this thing. Now we are looking for a global level webinars, beginning with Department of Geology. They were also famous in organizing webinars. And next month, we are also having international webinar with the Andals University, Malaysia, and we are looking for some other capacity building. But nonetheless, it is a very important and the need of the hour, building capacities at a micro level in the family members, the macro level by the governments, by the society. So being a philanthropist, okay, fine, but making all to be philanthropists through capacity building, what is how the development of a society, development of the family, development of socio-economic development of a nation takes place. So with this brief, introductory remarks, I thank you, Dr. Ramneshwari Garu, and also the Vice Chancellor, sir, for motivating us to, taking up a very, all these are, those ideas, prompted or initiated by the steward, which we have it. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Ramneshwar.
Thank you, sir, for those kind remarks. And I think we should not stop only building up the capacity, but go on for implementation so that we see the fruits. Thank you very much, sir, for your message. And now may I request our Dean Academic Affairs, Professor Y. Srinivas Rao, sir, to address the participants here.
Good morning to all of you. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Jagannath Rao Garu, and Principal Madam and Coordinator, Dr. Ramaneshwari, and then Principal Arts College, Professor Teki Garu, and then SFOCOM Principal Professor Kotti Ramesh Garu, and other members of the today's meeting, especially the invited guest lecturer, who is going to provide some of the solutions or some of the awareness for having the networking of international tie-ups. Especially why I'm telling this point is, since the university is existing at the juncture place of hilly region as well as the delta region. So the downlands are going to be delta lands, uplands are hilly regions. So both ways, in downland areas, a lot of canal network is there. And then, but road networks, some of the lot of troubles is going to be happening at the time of cyclones or floods, things. In upland areas, even networking is also another problem, getting connected to the people one-to-one. So university is existing uplands, that is nearer to the mangroves is the right thought, bringing just like an expert of Professor Behra Satyanarayana Garu, who had done a lot of work on mangroves. And also we have the expertise of Dr. Ramaneshwari and life sciences people in hand, so that if the people like you are going to, our people are going to have the networking, so that the local needs are going to be meeting. So planned development of the capacity among different levels, starting from research scholars, students, and then teachers level, and then equipping the, infrastructure facilities to meet the local solutions, to solve the local solutions by way of monitoring and then linking up to the national as well as to the international linking up, so that the solutions will be providing, and then we'll be making it sustainable development of the environment. So just the interaction between Professor Ramesh and then Professor Sachinarayana is a very good interaction. It has been initiated. The thoughts of the arts people are going to be a way of expressing the existing thoughts, and then whatever earlier others who had popular interactive oriented literatures that will be there. But the only thing is what are going to be scientifically justifiable. We, the people of this scientists, has to think of how best we can link up the earlier literature. So only my suggestion to Sachinarayana Garu, if it is going to be happening, I think so far the India is not going to have the oldest data related to the authenticity data related to the earth and environmental resources is not going to be available. Though we may be having the Survey of India topographical maps, but a special information is going to be a difficulty task, and the authenticated data availability is a toughest task to the earth and environmental scientists. That is a real fact. But if it is going to be a international organization which is going to have the tie-up with the international data equipment possibilities, if the mangroves are going to have the, either the delta development before the reservoirs construction, after the reservoirs construction, what is the levels of the mangroves increase or decrease? What it is? It had been existing. There are a lot of studies related to the data development with reference to the reservoirs construction on the upstreams. In India, especially big reservoirs, just we are going to have the Polavaram is going to be constructed. The sedimentation which is going to be brought up towards the Bay of Bengal is going to get stopped. Zero down. It will become a zero down. Not only water, but the sediments which are going to be feeding to the livestock, which is going to be in the delta forefront as well as in the Bay of Bengal. It is really a thought of program. If the international organizations are going to tying up with the university in relation to the sedimentation, in relation to the wetlands, in relation to the mangroves, how the ecological system is going to be either the impact is going to be species-wise or holistic-wise, how the things is to be resolved, and then what are the solutions we have to provide. If it is there, then it will become a good capacity building. Since the university is existing in the at the right place, so that we can do something to the local people as well as to the nation, as well as to the international platform. My small remarks. I thank you to the organizers giving this opportunity and involving in this activity. Thank you, Randall.
Thank you, Professor Srinivasarao, sir, for giving those, pointing out what areas we could likely take up to work and look forward. Thank you very much, sir. And now it is the time to listen to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, his message, so that the initiatives, all that has been taking up and will be taking up, even though after his tenure completes also, I think we have to continue that good work. We have to remember his words, and definitely through this period, many of us must have realized that we have benefited out of those words, though for some it may sound harsh, but that is the reality, and we should accept that. Thank you very much, sir. And I welcome you now to address the participants and our faculty members here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramaneshwari. I think I never used any harsh words for anyone, but it's only no.
No, sir. For some, it may feel. For some, may feel.
If they feel like that, maybe they are taken in a different way. But it is for our university and our family and the progress. And at the end of the day, vice chancellors will come and go, but the university will remain. So whatever is required to be done in a positive manner, we need to do that work, and that is the reason. Anyhow, thank you very much for initiating such a wonderful program. First of all, I thank Dr. Behra Sachinarayana, along with Dr. Ramaneshwari. You come up with this program. Very innovative because ours is a very young university. So we need somebody like you, a professional from an international organization, an international university, kind of hand holding. We need that. So definitely, this is a great opportunity. So I'm extremely happy to see all our colleagues here, Professor Ramesh, EC member, Professor Teki, Principal, College of Arts, Dr. Persis, and we have friends and guests here, Dr. Sharma and Dr. Raju, and Dr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, another Executive Council member, and all the faculty from the sciences. So when you talk about what various, we use various terminology like capacity building, memorandum of understanding, memorandum of cooperation, or the exchange programs, or whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, we want to work with people like you. We want our faculty cooperate with you, work with you, do research, and see at the end, it's for the win-win situation. So we both should grow together so that our institution is visible at international level. And it not only helps the faculty, it not only helps the students, ultimately, we need to improve the quality of education at this institution. Definitely, we have to accept that we are not up to the international standards. Not even 50%, if I'm say in a correct way, because we need to accept where we stand really. So what is needed to be done under the giving scenario? In a given scenario, we have faculty, we are taking up and we are offering courses, and we are doing research at our own pace and to our own quality. But we need to improve the quality, improve the standards. Within this structure, within the scenario, what can be done? Because we cannot expect huge amounts of money from the government to improve the infrastructure overnight. We cannot get our faculty trained overnight. So we need to look for other alternatives. So the best alternative is the capacity building, taking the help of international universities and experts like you. So you are an Indian-born person working at international level, and you are coming forward to help us. So first of all, we are very thankful to you, and we welcome you. And whatever is needed to be done in this direction of capacity building, we are ready to do that. And when we talk about, you take the locational advantage of Adikavinana University. You are an expert on environment and oceanography and other things, and you're working in the Malaysian university. So you take the advantage of this deltaic system, which is one of the most important ecosystem and which need to be considered for further work in the context of its protection, its sustainability, and its scientific importance as a most important ecosystem where the river will be meeting the sea and depositing huge sediments and organic matter and all the species in the brackish water environment make it is very special. I had an opportunity to work on these deltas being a geologist when I was the director for the Delta Studies Institute of Andhra University. Our main emphasis was to understand the process of deltaic system in the present day, because deltas are there since Mesozoic, about maybe 60 million years ago. Also, deltas are there. Still, the delta was there beneath the present modern delta. So deltas are known for the oil and gas accumulation. So we wanted to help the ONGC to locate where oil and gas could occur and why. To understand that, we need to study the process of modern deltas. So where the sand bodies will be there, where the organic matter is accumulated, how this organic matter is under reducing conditions may be converted into the oil and gas or very preliminary hydrocarbons like kerosene, etc. And all this organic matter, whether it's the vegetal like mangroves or the microorganisms like planktons, zooplanktons or phytoplanktons or whatever it may be, how they accumulate, how they're converted into the precursors of oil and gas. So that's what we were interested. We have worked on these things. And while working on these deltas, we definitely realized these wonderful ecosystem, which need to be done, which need to be researched using all these related branches, like zoology or botany or chemistry or geochemistry or geology and oceanography. It is a wonderful field where interdisciplinary work can be initiated. So I'm extremely happy that you are coming forward with a proposal to establish marine biology research and teaching a center. You call it the CMBRT with the help of Adhika Vinana University, and where you want to develop the marine biology as an add-on elective subject in our courses. You want to create special interest groups among the Adhika Vinanaya, and you want to obtain research grants from national funding agencies. I also request you to put international funding agencies as well, because when you talk about national, we may be having some kind of limitations, because you know about this country of India, where we have a crunch for funds because of budget cuts, etc. So we look forward for funds which are liberally coming from international organizations, especially the organizations which are very much interested to protect these environments. So you need to concentrate on such international funding agencies. So similarly, we can also conduct training programs, outreach programs, and all promote our research students to work under various exchange programs. Maybe you can become a joint or co-guide to our students, or your students who are interested to work on our deltas and mangroves can come here, work with us, where they will be working with our faculty. It is a great opportunity. And as you said, there are various funding opportunities also, like you said, Erasmus Mundus, where we can also offer or study master's program under this program. And you can think about designing a twinning program where the students can study one semester or so at your university. Similarly, your students can also study one semester at our university, where in a twinning program, we can offer some kind of marine biology or the biology of deltaic systems or whatever it may be, similar programs, or a specialization on deltas or mangroves or deltaic ecosystems, etc., or brackish water ecosystems in a deltaic setting can be offered as a special course, because these deltas need to be protected and need to be, because they are most important ecosystems in the environment. So these programs definitely will be very attractive to the young students of marine biology. So definitely we look forward to work with you. I'm happy to see that you have included Dr. Professor Y. Prabhakar Rao Garu, Professor C. Kalavati, and I worked with Dr. Y. Prabhakar Rao Garu. When I was the international students advisor of Andhra University, we have formulated a number of MOUs, in which one of the MOU is formulated with one American university, where Professor Prabhakar Rao Garu is a coordinator. Yes, you know that.
I know.
How is
I was
Prabhakar Rao
there.
Garu doing? Well,
Yeah, he's doing fine, sir. He's
fine, fine. Okay. Also, I heard about Sri Kalavati madam, though I do not have a direct contact, but I know her commitment. She's our senior, an excellent worker. So it is we are feeling some kind of nostalgic thing, because when we hear about our professors Prabhakar Rao and Professor Kalavati, and unfortunately we lost Professor Raman. This is the group who worked relentlessly on this marine biology. I know that. And I am happy that you represent this research group and you want to work with us, and which is an excellent opportunity for our life sciences faculty. And we look forward to extend whatever is required to see this capacity building is a reality. We want to see, because when we talk about the research, generating the data, we always worry about equipment. So what we can do is, you have the modern equipment, you have the access to the equipment, where our faculty members do not have access of such kind of modern equipment. So the win-win situation is like this. So we'll be proposing a project or formulating a project where our faculty, they're also experts. They do all the field work, they collect the samples. So the other part of the analysis part, you can take up. So in this way, it is a kind of win-win situation where both of you can contribute with your available resources. So our available resources are manpower and the students, and we are near the field where you want it to work. So use that kind of advantage, take the help of our faculty, and then collect samples. You process the samples, generate data, and come up with the joint publications. In the meanwhile, in summers or during holidays, you can come also participate in the field works along with our faculty. So such kind of program can be initiated. Slowly, this can be a long-range program where both the universities will benefit by getting international high impact factor publications. So I hope definitely this will be a big start. We wanted to take your help and your commitment and towards this, and see this is initiated very soon. Thank you very much. Thank you.
very nice, very nice.
Thank you, sir, for mentioning the areas of focus for collaboration and networking locally and also globally. Thank you very much, sir. And with due apologies, I didn't mean that you have mentioned harsh words, but we must have taken harsh, like truth is always bitter. I meant it in that way, not in any other
No.
ways.
I'm not blaming anybody here. It is only a kind of a lighter side only.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And now it is the time to listen to our international expert, Dr. Behra Satyanarayana. Before listening to him, I just want to introduce him to the group here. But his biodata, it is about 28 pages, and I cannot read all, but touch upon the important points, and especially his networking and collaborative areas of work where we, the university, is going to be benefited. I will touch upon that point. And thank you once more, Dr. Satyam, as he is known well rather than Dr. Behra Satyanarayana. And I'm happy to say that he was my contemporary at Andhra University during my PhD time. I once again welcome you to this program. Thank you very much for coming forward to tie up with our university and taking it forward. So let me introduce him to the participants. Dr. Behra Satyanarayana, he has completed his PhD from Andhra University during the year 2005, where his topic was ecobiology and remote sensing based study of Koringa mangroves in the Godavari Delta, east coast of India. Then later on, after completing his PhD, he has he got into his professional role, and he has an experience of about 23 years under different capacities. After his awarding of before his awarding of his research, he worked as a research assistant at the Marine Biological Laboratory, Andhra University. Then later on, he was upgraded to senior research fellow in the same Marine Biological Laboratory, working for the project of the Department of Ocean Development funded project on a GIS-based study on Koringa mangroves, Kakinada. Then he became a research fellow along with the European Commission funded project on an assessment of mangrove degradation and resilience in the Indian subcontinent in the cases of Godavari estuary and southwest Sri Lanka. And I think this linkage has taken him onto the international arena, where he has then become a senior scholar, a visiting scholar, and a post-doctoral researcher conducting research studies at the GIS and RS Laboratory, Department of Geography, Nanjing University, China, and also the key laboratory of Tropical Marine Environmental Dynamics, South China Sea Institute of Oceanology, Chinese Academy of Sciences, China. Then from after that, he has taken up teaching as a profession, joined as a lecturer at University Malaysia, Terengganu. Now also where he is the associate professor at Institute of Oceanography and Environment, with a brief interruption of 2 years, going back to Belgium as a postdoctoral researcher in the Laboratory of Systems Ecology and Resource Management. And I would like to touch upon his in national and international collaborations, which is a huge list, but still during the year from 1995 to 2002, he has worked with he was involved with the research program and the research groups from Belgium, Vrije University, Brussels, Sri Lanka, University of Ruhana, Sweden, Stockholm University, and the Netherlands, University of Nijmegen. And after that, from 2015 to 2019, he worked with the research groups involved with the countries like Australia, the University of New South Wales, Belgium, University Library Brussels, then Belgium, Flemish Institute of Technological Research, and Malaysia, University Malaysia, Terengganu. Then from 2014 onwards also, he had the involvement with Belgium, Cameroon, France, Italy, Madagascar, Malaysia, and Sri Lanka, various national institutes and universities. And this is on an university level or institutional collaboration. And on an individual level, he has collaborative ties with China, Nanjing University, Chinese Academy of Sciences, and Guangdong Ocean University. Then Belgium, University Library Brussels and Vijay University, Brussels, Sri Lanka, University of Ruhana, then Hong Kong, the University of Hong Kong, then Singapore, the National University of Singapore, and Nanyang Technological University. And we know that going international across so many universities and institutions means he should be having the skill and the training in different fields. So it is a long list on the skills and the training fields that he has. And I think I will move on to the number of research grants. He has about almost 11 research grants that have been awarded to him to carry out his research. And to mention, it is the research fund from Chinese RMB, from the Postdoctoral Science Foundation of China, the eScience Fund, that is from the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, then FRGS Fund from the Ministry of Higher Education, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, then supporting research fund from University Library Brussels, Belgium, research incentive grant from the University of Malaysia, Terengganu. Then again, the FRGS fund from the Ministry of Higher Education at a different year time periods. Then we have the International Research Fund from the Belgium Science Policy, the supporting research fund from the University Library Brussels, then EU funding for Asia at Connect through Trans-Eurasia Information Network, and for the Forest Research Institute, Malaysia. And to his credit, he has many awards and recognition right from the year 1999, and the list continues up to 2020. And he has been recognized as a visiting scholar to different institutes. And he also has the best program award under the category of environment, development and human rights at the 12th UGC CEC Educational Video Competition India for the documentary Mangroves and the Man, which is produced on Kuringa Mangrove Ecosystem in collaboration with the Educational Media Research Center, Hyderabad, along with Professor Raman. And he also bagged the best paper awards at different conferences. Then he has a certificate from Alcorn State University, US, in recognition of services to monitoring international research training program at Andhra University. Then he also has certificates from the University of Malaysia, Terengganu, for best teaching faculty member, and also in recognition of his publications at different years. So to continue, he has guided 7 PhD students, and he also continues to guide the MSc students under his supervision. And the list is long regarding their topics of study, and those topics are not limited to a narrow focus, but to diverse areas belonging to the marine biology studies, all included right from the biodiversity up to GIS studies, in between involving the water quality, the ecosystem studies, the ethnomedicinal properties, and the floristic studies also. And he has a number of publications, and the publications can be divided as the publications in impact fact journals are 40, and the publications in other scopus and reputed journals are 16, and the full-length papers that have been presented in conference proceedings are about 14. So going by the books, the chapters he has contributed is 7 in number. So he also has 9 of technical reports to his credits, and a long list still. The papers that are being prepared for publication are also there. And with this exhaustive curriculum vitae, I think you will not be stopping here. When we go together, that list will be improved and added up also. Thank you very much, and for coming over here once again, Dr. Satyam. Now I would invite you to present your talk to the group here.
Thank you so much, Madam. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Adhikavananda University, distinguished uh, uh, registrar, principal madam, and all top managements, and esteemed professors, my colleagues, and dear friends. A very good morning to you. First of all, thank you so much for giving me this precious opportunity to share some of my ideas that could be helpful for Adikavananaya University in way of uh, capacity building and international networking. It is a very special day for me, I would say. You know why? From last 20 years, my services are being used by different universities abroad, different institutes abroad, but I never had an opportunity to really share with an Indian institute. Really a special day, and thanks for giving this opportunity to Honorable Vice Chancellor and also respected Principal Madam for inviting me and asking me to give this talk. And really, it is really provoking, and I'm so happy. Hope my talk would be able to enlighten some ideas from your side as well, so that we can work together. And it is always hand in hand. We can go together anytime, any place, so we can develop as we wish. So especially the universities like budding universities like Adhika Vinanya University, I can really understand the limitations, but there is a very good scope because of the proximity, location. It is the best choice. That is a God-given location for us to really a key player in the marine biological research or ecosystem monitoring and assessment and monitoring. At the same time, to manage them ecosystems, critical habitats in a sustainable way for the benefit of local communities. What should be the ultimate goal? Our science should reach to the common public, where we can take it, we can carry forward that our science not confined only to the publications. It should be carried forward to the general public where it makes sense. So that's where I keep on admiring the efforts taken by Honorable Vice Chancellor, coming up with the Nannaya Vani and everyday news magazines. He has been so much passionate to do for the well-being of the society. I cannot control that. Whenever I see and I read that information, I immediately say, maybe I know he's quite busy. So I say, thank you, sir. So nice. It's really triggering interest among the young generations. And that's the passion can carry forward. And I really admire such kind of dynamic leadership you all people are having. And I'm very happy that you all support him in such a way that the university can reach to the new heights. That is no wonder it is going to happen. That is for sure, believe me. And especially I want to thank Professor Teki also for talking about the capacity building from the micro to macro levels. Of course, it's wonderful. Yes, it is all very much needed, sir. And also Professor Srinivasa Garu has highlighted, Dean Academic Affairs has highlighted the importance of sustainable development. Yes, it is crucial indeed. Crucial. But I just was talking to Professor Ramesh, and then we had this is kind of we were able to shed some light on this kind of topic, but it is not. It is just a beginning. We have a long way to go. And also, I try to see what is possible from my side. I try to share what is possible, and you are the best people because you are in the local conditions. I'm always in the abroad, so I have less experience. So in locally, so definitely we can plan together to see how best we can improve the things in a win-win situation. Thank you so much. Without further ado, I will like to share my screen. Hope you all can see my screen. And
Hello. Yeah, we can see your screen.
great. I'm just looking for the pointer. Yes. So is it clear, sir? Everybody can see it. Hope you can listen to me as well clearly. Okay. So today I'm happy to share some ideas, as I said, some opportunities for capacity building and international networking. They also told you it's a special day, one way, because since from last 20 years, I have been extending support to other organizations. But I'm so happy today to share my experiences and my knowledge with a university like Adikavinanaya, which is from my birthplace region. It gives me so much pleasure in doing it. So I'm just on the opposite side from Kovuru. So it is, I have a very, very, very precious connection with the region. And I'm happy that my ideas are worked out and be beneficial to the University of Adikavinanaya University. So let us wish good things are going to happen soon. As you all know, yes, everybody is saying it is the location itself, the banks of River Godavari, that is the advantage, that is an asset for Adikavinanaya University, no doubt about it. We have find the best tropical biodiversity and ecosystems all along the river, all along the river. We just have to catch hold of the opportunities to explore further. Okay, before getting into details, I just want to say a few. I know Professor Dr. Ramaneshwari Madam has highlighted so many things. Just to say a quick look about myself and my university, because some of you might be wondering where exactly my university is located. Okay, this is just a profile, as Madam saying. You can call me Satyam. I joined the University Malaysia Terengganu. Actually, I joined University Malaysia Terengganu in 2006. Then I left University Malaysia Terengganu in 2009 to go to Belgium to improve the scientific collaborations. Then the university, although I left this university, I didn't lose any contacts. That's always maintained my good contacts, so that I was able to establish the scientific linkages between Malaysian University and Belgium University. That's what brought me back to University Malaysia Terengganu as an associate professor. So I'm specialized on mangrove ecology with remote sensing and GS applications. And I'm very much interested in wetland ecosystems and biodiversity assessments. And we study the spatial and temporal dynamics, and the conservation and management is my priority for the wetland habitat, critical habitats. Of course, we as a mangrove ecologist, we also are using some advanced technologies like remote sensing. Also nowadays we started using the drones, and then so far from the last 4 years, I'm touch with mangrove ecosystem. This is my university where I'm from. Actually, my place is located on the east coast of peninsular Malaysia, called Kuala Terengganu. This is my campus. You must be wondering why my campus is so empty. Is it? Yes, the picture was taken nearly 2 decades ago, so it was empty. But now everything has changed. Our slogan is Ocean of Discoveries for the Global Sustainability, and we are moving towards the world-class university. When you look at the 2021 QS rankings, top university rankings, in Asia, my university ranked 195. It is a very good ranking. It is just coming up university, I would say, but it is doing good. And it is time for us to develop together. And this is the current university location. So with the escalating number of the students, so we got to develop so many buildings and come up to accommodate a lot of students, national and international students. The good thing is our location proximity, like the way Adikavinanaya University is situated close to on the banks of River Godavari. We are located close to South China Sea. What always makes a difference for the university. To get that kind of opportunity towards that kind of riverine systems or sea or critical habitats, so that we have to make use of that opportunity to explore further and strengthen the relation with other similar organizations or other organizations which are working on the similar lines. Okay, coming back to Godavari, Rajamahendravaram. Yes, this satellite image, as I said, that place, the sacred river, and that place itself is known for the cultural integrity, and also it has a cultural heritage from millions years, and that's what available from the scripture. So River Godavari is so valuable resource for us. And along with the culture, it also carries, as I said, so much diversity, ecosystems, the tropical ecosystems and biodiversity all along the river banks, within the river beds itself. So as you see, from the Dhavaleshwaram Dam, the river Godavari is divided into two branches. One is Gautami Godavari, and the second one is Vasishtha Godavari. All along the river Godavari, Gautami Godavari, you can see so much fertile land. So you might be wondering why the land is in red color. It is just a false color composite of a satellite data. So since it is a false color composite, what you see on the real ground, green becomes the red because of the just band combination differences. So you see the red color, which is nothing but the green. So such a fertile land, the river is supporting. And the river keep coming, and finally it reaches Bay of Bengal at the Bhairavapalam village near Kakinada. So there we have a most wonderful ecosystem, historically important ecosystem known as Kuringa Wildlife Sanctuary. It is a wetland. So it is a saltwater wetland. So it is, we have freshwater wetlands as well, even lakes. So within the radius of Rajahmundry, within a reachable, within the 100-kilometer radius or so, we have so many ecosystems that could be explored. So the second branch of Vasishtha Godavari that reaches also Bay of Bengal at Antarvedi area. So it is the time for us. This is what I'm highlighting to see what kind of ecosystems are prevailing in that regions and which expertise are available with us and how we can develop some special interest groups to do this kind of research, to explore and at the same time to get a good scientific reputation nationally and internationally. So what I'm seeing here is the mangrove ecosystem. As you all know, the mangrove is quite important for us because it really mitigates the impact of strong waves and winds for the population and the property. So especially after 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the mangroves have regained their attention, scientific attention, and also the management attention. So both government and non-government organizations, they are now investing so much manpower and money to propagate the mangrove stands. It is a precious God-given coastal habitats. They act as a coastal green belts. That's why they call it as a green belt that can mitigate the impact of high wind waves and currents. And at the same time, they are the best sources to capture the carbon sequestration. It is the best part of the wetland ecosystems. In the next week or coming week, I will be talking about the capturing ability of carbon in the mangrove ecosystems, and that's why the need of protection. I will elaborately do that. But why I'm showing this picture is when we go to such kind of ecosystems, you always have a lot of plant-animal relations, interactions, associations. That's where your capacity, your expertise is needed to really explore them. So plant-animal interactions is the geology people, botany people can really come together to exploit the opportunities. So that is one way. Then not only there, we have human environment relations. That is from small level to small scale to large scale. For example, some people go to this kind of ecosystems just to catch the fish, just to get some fuel wood. But at the same time, some people go to that kind of ecosystem or that kind of basins to explore the oil and natural gas. So small scale to large scale, there is a higher variation where the social sciences come into the picture. That's really the place where the sciences, life sciences and social sciences can come together as well. It is just an opportunity that we have to think wisely how we can integrate. So that is what makes any organization to progress in a right direction. So I'm sure that the leadership, the dynamic leadership, like Honorable Vice Chancellor Jagannath Rao Garu, definitely it helps you to really elevate the university to a greater extent. So we just have to, of course, as they were saying, anybody try to implement the good scenarios, but it is our responsibility to carry forward. So that is what we have to think about it. So universities are there forever, as you mentioned. We have to carry forward and keep on, the legacy must be continued from generations to generation. That's what we have to eye upon. Okay, today, coming to the point of my main talk, that's how we can develop scientific collaborations or international networking, national networking, we name it. I see two perspectives of this kind of development. One is national perspective. Second one is international perspective. So the national perspective, what I felt like is, since given the proximity close to the Bay of Bengal, which is about 80 kilometers across the globe, but although it takes a couple of hours to reach to the sea, but definitely it is one of the things we have to think about it. Center for Marine Biology Research and Teaching. Why not? Maybe we can shift this kind of location to a center near to Kakinada or somewhere where the marine sources are readily accessible. So this is just an idea which I am proposing. So maybe we can think of going for a center marine biology and teaching, CMBT, and also that can helps you to introduce some marine biology course or mangrove ecology, like what I'm teaching. So for your information, I'm feeling like part of Nannaya University now. So I'm just advocating the things in such a way that I'm part of your family. Hope you don't mind. So then we can introduce some sort of a course that could be add-on value. That could be an add-on course or even elective subject that brings in value for the university, that brings in reputation nationally and internationally. And then that also helps to improve the special interest groups among the sciences and social sciences faculty members. And there is plenty of opportunities for us to, there are limitations, but definitely we can try for the national funding agencies. We can approach for the national funding agencies. And then we can create the research opportunities for both biological and social sciences students, local students. That is also our target. It will be also our target. So that means university is developing. Developing means it is not only by teaching, it is also by research. When you are doing research, your knowledge is up to date. That's what we need. That's where, as Honorable Vice Chancellor is hinting, our quality of education is quite important. So that's what your quality improves. Keep on improving. Once you indulge yourself into the research, definitely it improves. It makes a lot of difference. And then we are, as everybody is saying, what is the ultimate goal of the research? We really have to convey the message to the common public. They really have to bring the knowledge to the stakeholders, whoever is interested in that particular ecosystem. That should be the ultimate goal. If you write papers, publications, they don't reach to the common public. Nobody opens them. They don't understand. So we have to tell them a story in their own language, so that we can really get a lot of cooperation, and there is a meaning for our science. There is a meaning for our research. There is a meaning for our knowledge. That's what I strongly believe, and that's what I'm practicing everywhere. Okay, coming back to the international perspective, yes, we may think of, I mean, it is possible. I can help you greatly. We can try to bring in some international MSc program to the Nannaya University. That's what we know that program is Tropical Biodiversity and Ecosystems. Being the place as a proximity close to the riverine and sea environments, why not Nannaya? So that's fine, wonderful opportunity for us to think about these lines also. Then it can enhance the opportunities for academic and scientific collaborations with international universities and institutions. That's how my international contacts emerged because of these programs. I'm just sharing my knowledge based on my experience. I'm a live example for you. And also that can enhance once you have in contact with the international bodies, and that goes for MOUs and research agreements. And even we can think of the double degree programs and joint degree programs. And the research grants acquisition from the international funding organizations. Yes, as Honorable Vice Chancellor requested, yes, sir. We can think of international grant, and there is a plenty of opportunities once you have MOUs and once you have good collaboration. Only thing is we have to just keep up our reputation, because everybody wants you want a good friend. That means we want to be good as well. We must be good as well. So then good can go together. So that's why we just have to enhance, improve ourselves, and try to get with the right partners to get maximum out of it, the relation. And research and teaching to opportunities to international students. Yes, very much possible. I show you in detail how I am dealing with it in the coming slides. It is a perfect example. Once we have bring in this kind of international program, we have a lot of opportunities to teach and conduct research with the international students. And international students can be associated with the local students. That synergy works very well. And that is the motivation for the local student to go for the international standards. That's how I am always mixing up with my international students with the local students, so that they can benefit from each other. They can encourage each other. And almost once we get this kind of programs, and we can have enhance the opportunities for inbound and outbound mobility options for staff and students. So it is also opportunity for the students to go abroad and work for 1 month, 2 months in different abroad universities. Why not? We can create that kind of platform for sure. Yes, I'm talking about the Marine Biology Center for Marine Biology and Teaching and Research. This is one idea we can think deeply in perspective as per the practical feasibilities. The main proposal for this CMBRT is because the Bay of Bengal, such a large marine ecosystem, bordering so many countries, Maldives, Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia. So where almost like 25% of the population is living in these countries, in the whole population is living. So such a big marine ecosystem, we really have to catch hold of the point. And coming back to Andhra Pradesh, it is a sunrise state with 975 kilometers next to Gujarat. So it is the second largest coastline. We have it. So this coastline is harboring so many critical habitats. We have rivers, lakes, wetlands, forest, sea. So these all habitats are supporting the local livelihoods. The people, local communities are dependent on this ecosystem for their well-being and for their livelihoods. So if any ecosystem is disturbed, then the local population will lose their income. They lose their lives. So such kind of. That's where we need to think of appropriate conservation and management of these critical habitats. Scientific, that's where science is needed, and for which Adhikavan University could be a scientific hub. Once we have this kind of expertise, the people working on botany, zoology, social sciences, and other faculties, even chemistry also, why not? Because mangroves are known for some chemical compounds. So once we come together and we facilitate sustainable conservation and management, then it is a glory. We can retain the treasure, the natural treasures in the country. And it is not only that, we also open the doors for the younger generations to acquire new knowledge. Because when you go to schools or any young children, when you ask them, they don't know anything about the coastal habitats. No, they don't have any knowledge. Even the same here in Malaysia. Though they are living close to the mangrove ecosystems, but the children are a few up to middle-aged people, they don't have much interaction with that ecosystem. So we are the one creating awareness. We have to, being a scientist, being a researcher, being a teacher, we have to create some opportunity. We have to bring up with some opportunities to really open the doors for the younger generation, acquire knowledge, new knowledge. Maybe if it is available in one university or two universities, maybe not enough for the entire Andhra. And also, what are the aspects they are focusing? Maybe we can tune something different, make it much glory to the marine sciences. So they will have some inland as well as coastal ecosystems and their benefits and their futures. That's how we can conserve them, and the benefits can pass on to the future generations. This is the point we must have to think about it, and we need to really work on it. First suppose, in case if you believe there might be some difficulties to come up with a center right away, maybe we can think of a laboratory or a research unit. Why not? Because I know center means maybe that has a special setup or equipment and so on. Maybe the laboratory is maybe the same, but maybe we can think of some research unit. Research is nothing but the lecturers, a group of lecturers come together and just establish. We don't need any special setup for the research. We just share our knowledge and come up with the team research work, and we get benefit from each other. We can think of it, but Center for Marine Biology is also not a bad choice. Maybe it is just a preliminary steps I am advising. Maybe we can think of some biodiversity and sustainability laboratory or biodiversity and sustainability research unit. Why not? We can broadly think about it. We can just take all inputs from the top managements and the faculty members and so on to see what is possible. That is very much need. It's a need of our. And I'm talking about the research unit. Yes, I'm currently heading a research unit called Mangrove Research Unit. We call it as MARU. So it is a very easy. We just form only a group of people and try to come up with so many publications together. So every time when you publish your paper, your unit is highlighted. Your research unit is highlighted. So once your research unit is highlighted, then definitely your scientific reputation is going up over the years. That's what I'm actually witnessing. So this is a good motive. So once such kind of research units are established, so we may think of such kind of coming up with the publications that make sure that the people in India as well as outside, they see that particular unit or center or laboratory is visible scientifically. That means that is how we can prove our strength to the science as a scientist. So nowadays, publications, of course, publications are important. You have to think about it. Unless we cannot share the knowledge to anybody. So this is where I'm showing, we have just 8 people and running the Mangrove Research Unit. And when you look at the, I have one thing which I wanted to highlight here is any natural ecosystem is a social ecological system. Social ecological system. That means it has its physical factors, biological factors, social factors. Could be influenced individually, independently, or combinedly. They have a strong impact on that particular ecosystem. That's why we have been focusing on ecosystem assessments and resource use exploitations, socioeconomics, species environment relationships, and propagation, the plantation of the mangroves, application of remote sensing and GIS, and pollution assessments, conservation and management, and so forth. This is a small team. We don't have any big laboratory. We don't have any big setup. We just form together as a team. Once in 2 months, we come up with a group discussion, and students, whoever joined under our team, they will present. They will give defense presentations and mock vivas and so on. So this is how we can trigger the interest among the parties, among different people. And sometimes, as you know, it is not easy to get scientific projects always. It is impossible. Even we also have difficulties. So sometimes we develop because we wanted to do some research. So in that case, we contribute some fund for the research with the limited support from the university, and then we go for the own expedition, self-expeditions. That's how you can keep yourself up to date. You can motivate yourself and come up with such kind of things to keep up your knowledge in the research, which ultimately helpful for the teaching to maintain the quality education in the university. As I said, once you come up with such kind of scenarios, definitely you can come up with the special interest groups. Definitely, if I'm there in Nana University, definitely the social ecology group can come and why don't we? And we can go together to Koringa and see what are the discourses. What are the discourses the local people have it in terms of the management, conservation and management of mangrove. Such kind of things could be highlighted. There is the citizen science. Where exactly we can incorporate the citizens. This is all in the hands of socio-ecology people. They are the real scientists. So such kind of things we can really explore with other departments. We don't need to see people, this guy belongs to this department, this guy belongs. So we all are one, belongs to Adhikavananaya University. That's it. It is a unique, it is under one umbrella. That's how we can make things change. That can change the mindset of the people. Then that can help to come up with this team spirit and mutual cooperation for each other. And it can trigger multidisciplinary research and brainstorming among the parties. And ultimately, as I said, always the knowledge should be transferred to the community. So for example, see how I bring my students to communicate with the local children, with the local parties, local people, how the science could be shared. So this is a knowledge transfer program. We must organize some knowledge transfer programs so that our university will be always in the limelight. So such kind of things are pretty much possible. It is not a rocket science or it is not a big practice. It's just implementation, matter of implementation. Just a matter of just thinking and coming together to work together. And now, yes, as I said, the remote sensing is quite useful for ecosystems. It is not necessarily for mangroves. Please remember that. It is not necessarily for mangroves. For any ecosystem, you can use satellite data. Even geology, as Honorable Vice Chancellor is from the geology, they have seen a lot of satellite data utilization for their explorations. So such kind of things, you can do it for every ecosystem. Even including agricultural fields, you can use remote sensing to know the health of the vegetation because they have specific signals, their bands, which you can retrieve to identify. So that's how we can integrate the food and technology, food and nutrition department also on board. For example, here, I just want to show you some examples. Yeah, everybody knows that, okay, when you work on satellite images, you can do classification of the images and you can do something, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you can do it when you use drones as well. And drone images are much more high resolution when you compare to the satellite data as well. Sometimes you have to be careful. At what height you fly the drone, that determines your altitude, determines the resolution of your image. For example, here, I want to show you how the drone image can be used to retrieve the height of the trees. You can identify height. Just by height, you can run canopy height model. You can run modeling aspect. You can approach some aspect of modeling, and you can derive the height of the vegetation even with limited observations in the field. That's where the remote sensing make a lot of difference. You don't have to be there 24 hours and throughout the year. So only certain selective locations you can choose it, and then you can explore that further. And that selection locations is just for the accuracy assessment. So see, here we try to analyze the height of the trees, forest, without going there to see the importance of revolutionary technology of the drone. And even we went for the classification of the images, like what we do in the satellite data. So such kind of things can bring you so much popularity. People approach you. people look for you to see where exactly the potential is located. And once Adikavan Annaya become a scientific hub for such kind of ecosystem monitoring management, no wonder you receive thousands of calls every day to look for this kind of assessments, habitat assessments, consultancy projects. That's where we have to be cautious to really. And definitely once we have the top management continuous support from the top management people, of course, nobody can stop us. If we have such kind of honorable vice chancellor, we can make miracles. We can make miracles. Then this is just to show you how I'm using socio-ecological component into the mangrove ecosystem. As I said, the mangrove ecosystems are socio-ecological systems. That's where socio-ecology part is very much important. And right from identifying the discourses of the management, and then you have to give a call to bring the stakeholders with the ecosystem monitoring and management. Then you can bring up with the scenarios how we can integrate the local people into your projects, make them part of your project, scientific project, and see the difference. He will be a real scientist, believe me. He will be a real scientist. Maybe you go from Nana University to Koringa maybe once in a month, but this local person who is staying next to the habitat, he is the real scientist. He can observe changes, any changes in the ecosystem over the night. He's a real scientist. So that's where we must make use of such kind of local people, also part of our projects. That's what we can develop citizen science. And also we have to we have to care about the public perceptions, which is really matters for the conservation of mangrove ecosystem. So similarly, not necessarily for the mangroves, but also for other ecosystems. So public perceptions. For example, in the case of mangroves, people think they are the wastelands. They serve no purpose. They're just breeding grounds for the mosquitoes. No, they are wrong perceptions. We have to stop them. You have to create awareness. Why the mosquitoes are living in the mangroves? You have to explain the reason for it. It is not mangrove's fault. It is our fault. If you carefully observe, yes, it is our fault. We are the one creating zones for the mosquitoes in the mangroves. So that's kind of explanation, scientific explanation, how to bring it to the common public. Like the way we are coming up with the news magazine articles. So such kind of news can penetrate into the community so fast and then can create a real awareness. So I strongly believe that having a Center for Marine Biology, research and teaching, or a laboratory for biodiversity and sustainability, or a biodiversity and sustainability research unit, whatsoever you name it, but it can create a fertile and a stimulating environment for the national and international students. No doubt about it. Particularly when you add a marine biology or mangrove ecology, such kind of subjects to the university, don't have to be a complete subject for throughout the year. It could be an elective subject, or it could be an add-on course. So that can make a big difference. A lot of students can come to join. Once they found you are a good teacher, they wanted to do research projects with you. That's where we come up with small research projects, 5 weeks, 6 weeks research projects that ultimately end up with a big publication, I'm sure. So that means it is also a boost for our local students. So the local students get benefit from the publications. And we get benefit, our university gets benefit. So scientifically, we improve altogether. So coming to what are the most benefits to the university if we do that kind of the new course or center establishments, then Adikavananiya University become a catalyst for the networking with the different research institutes and universities in India itself. I'm talking about India right now. I'm not talking about the universities. I talk about it next phase. And then, as Honorable Vice Chancellor has already mentioned, he was so happy to recollect the names, few names of Andhra University senior former professors. And every one of you are product of Andhra University or from Nanda University or from Nagarjuna University, whatsoever. So you can rope in, bring your contacts, and make use of their expertise. For example, those two names I just mentioned, because they're ready to help to have a good team in our university, just on honorary capacity. We don't need to pay them, just their wisdom, what can guide us better. And also, by taking this kind of initiative, by coming up with a center or a research unit or a laboratory, we have to think about the research or field stations. That means once we go to a habitat like Mangrove Ecosystem, we need to have some field station or research station. I still remember, like the Kakinada Postgraduate Center. It used to be under Andhra University before. At the time, they gave us 2-3 rooms. So whenever we finish work in the mangroves, we used to go with samples to the PG center to analyze them, to store the samples. So such kind of facilities can make a lot of difference. They really bring in time saving and cost saving efforts. We need to think of that kind of research and field station establishment. We don't need to create new, because, for example, our university has so much network in coastal areas, Kakinada. So we just make use of the facilities existing. We just need some room for the research or promotion or to conduct the project. So then Adhikavi University become a coordinating organization for the joint research projects. And once we are located in the coastal area, we can immediately attract impact in ecological, environmental impact assessment projects and marine consultancy projects. As far as I know, for the east coast of India, the NIO is doing the consultancy project, and Professor Raman Garu with Professor Kalavati Garu and Professor Prabhakar Garu, they used to do some consultancy works for the east coast. No one there. So now Professor Raman, unfortunately, we lost him. So it is a point for us to bet on. We can bid some projects. If we keep quiet, then nobody cares, and only the NIO, big organizations like NIO, can be a monopoly. So that is what we really have to see the setbacks, and we try to really work on them. That can really boost our energies, no doubt about it. And we can create, most importantly, the research opportunities to biological and social science students in the local students, and share our scientific knowledge to training programs and conference and workshops. And most importantly, we can bring a remarkable sustainable conservation management, especially in the light of the projects like Polavaram. When the Dean Academic Affairs was explaining, I was really shocked that the project could limit, that could stop the sedimentation of stream discharge. There's a big damage. Once you don't have sufficient freshwater discharge, your mangroves are going to die. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That's what I witnessed in Sri Lanka. Because of the freshwater diversion project, one mangrove area completely took species turnover. That's what we ecologically call as species turnover. Means the species what you see today, maybe they're not there for 10 years. That will be turnover by other species. And also you may face another problem, cryptic ecological degradation. Cryptic ecological degradation. Maybe the area looks the same, because once you see it from the satellite eye, everything looks green, but you lose the diversity, biodiversity. That is a big loss. That is cryptic ecological degradation. So we really have to catch, we have to run more time. We really have to run such kind of things to utmost attention, care. Otherwise, it is not the ecosystem, we lose ecosystem, but so many dependent populations will be in danger. That's what we must understand. And such what we can really play conservation and sustainable management of the natural resources, for which the Adhikavi University could be a scientific hub. I'm sure the forestry department is doing good efforts. Then NGOs like Swaminathan Research Foundation, they were doing good job in doing mangroves. So, but They're not scientists. Believe me. So you are the scientist. Being in the teaching faculty, yes, you can offer a more scientific, valid statements than which are less in scientific research. That is the advantage you have. You have a better edge than others because your university create such a privilege for you to be a valid researcher. What you give a statement is a validity to the government, local people. That's what you really have to think about. And there are some sources of funding and income generation measures we can think of it. Yes, once you decided that we could establish a center or a laboratory, then we can propose that kind of submit that kind of proposal to Department of Science and Technology, National Research Foundation, Government of India, or so. Some organizations who are welcoming some infrastructure development proposals, we have to submit that kind of thing, because we wanted to see that center or laboratory as a permanent and sustainable unit in 5 years. At least we can keep the tenure as 5 years. It is not a overnight, but we have to struggle hard. Definitely, we can bring a change. Then, while doing that, we can keep on applying for the fresh scientific grants and consultancy projects. And also, as I said, we can introduce marine biology or mangrove ecology, some subjects. We can trigger some more interest to the local students, and then the postgraduate study and research opportunities to both local and national and international students. And also, a person like me, you may count on me to bring some kind of supporting research funds from abroad. But only the limitation is, for example, I'm getting the fund from some supporting research fund from some universities to conduct some kind of experiments here. For example, the mangrove propagules. Propagules means mangrove seed, how they float on the seawater. But luckily, we have a seawater facility nearby, so we can do that kind of experiment. That's where that could be a limitation for us. If maybe we can begin with a center in Rajahmundry, but later on we have to move to the specific particular location where the marine resources are quite close. Then we can easily request for some supporting grants from the abroad universities. Organize field schools. For example, I myself conducting field schools for the international students, summer schools, and internships. You may even develop some internships and educational field trips. For example, once we go with the local schools, okay, once universities organize, I still remember when I was doing my PhD in Koringa, the Guntur University, Nagarjuna University students used to come to see the mangroves. I used to guide them. I still remember Professor Samaseva Rao garu. He used to bring it. Samaseva Rao garu is now the Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University, Central University of Mizoram. So he used to bring students to Kakinada, and I used to guide them and explain them. So such kind of educational trips for the students. That's how we can make eco-tourism development. We can really bring it, for which Adikavi Nannaya University is a best choice. And then, in addition to that, we can come up with the planning programs, conferences, and work. Okay, if we really think of going for, even which I really care for, and going for a center for marine biology and research, I only a small suggestion from me being a person. Maybe we can dedicate to the eminent people like marine biologists like Professor Raman, who unfortunately we lost him. He served until 72 years. He was serving for the science. He was handling the consultancy projects in the Godavari Basin. You don't believe that. So he has a lot of collections, animal collections from Bay of Bengal. Why don't we make use of them to make a repository and reference section in that kind of center? It gives a beautiful art, actually. We can think of it. And that could be a temporary lab space also for the researchers, those who are aiming the projects under the Center for Marine Biology. It is also a place for our environmental and biological samples to analyze and make reports and make publications. Why not? It is so nice. We just have to work on so closely to see. And moreover, 2021 and 2030 is the United Nations Decade of Ocean Sciences for Sustainable Development. It is also one good opportunity for us to highlight that our center is established on the occasion of this United Nations call. Then definitely there will be a lot of partners interested in supporting our center. This is just about the national perspective. What I wanted to highlight about the national perspective. Then let us go for the international perspective. What I said is a Tropimundo program, is a master program known as Tropical Biodiversity and Ecosystem. It is supported by Erasmus Plus. Erasmus Plus, European Commission Erasmus Plus, as you all know, they really bring up high-level integrated study programs, master level, PG level, master level, with the higher education institutions around the world. They are the high integrated programs. They offer scholarship for the student. And once the students join such kind of programs, they can easily improve different language skills. For example, students come to me, I teach them some Malay language, Malaysian language for free, because we have a language center. They will come, that one teacher come and they teach them, so that daily life won't be any trouble. They have an opportunity in acquiring new language skills, and that can give them self-confidence for the new students. Also independence, they can survive by themselves. You don't have to follow each and everywhere. And also experience new cultures. So that is the motto of Erasmus Plus. So it has shown a big effect, positive effect on their study. For example, once I get students for study the masters with me, and they go for PhD planning, or they can find a job in Malaysia or somewhere. So it gives a opening to all other options for their career options. So now my intention to help Adhikavan Annaya University is to promote a program like Tropimundo, the university. And this is an excellence labeled master program supported by Erasmus Mundus from 2013 September onwards. And every 5 years, the European Commission is giving funding. That means after 5 years, we have to apply for another round of funding. They usually consider it because of the limitations and so on. So it is now currently receiving a overwhelming response from the students all over the world. You believe so many students join this course, some of them scholars, supported by the scholarships, some of them are self-funded scholarship. So for this program, Farid Dadogubas, Farid is my close friend, and as a general coordinator of this program, he's the backbone of this program. So most of the time, Farid is close to me because we are working on Mangrove Ecosystem. He's a mangrove specialist. He's one of the eminent personality on Mangrove Ecosystem. So I'm also working on. So that's how we become close, and then that closeness and academic confidence. Not only closeness, not only personal closeness, it is academic confidence. Okay, if I give a task to Satyam, how best he can perform. That kind of attitude that people have, usually Europeans have. So they will look at the personal relations as well as professional quality of the researcher before they offer something for us. That's why I said we need to have good. We may have some challenges, but we can overcome easily. I explained to you. This is the worldwide coverage of the Tropimundo. See, students from Asian tropical coastal ecosystems to the southwest of Indian Oceans, and they go to the Caribbean islands and Amazon basin. They study various, even they go to Africa, to the rainforest. So they have a very good opportunity for the students. This program has a very good opportunity for the exposure of the students to different ecosystems in different countries. For example, at this moment, currently we have 10 countries involved in this program and 12 institutions. 10 countries with 12 institutions. But in entire Asia, only Malaysia and Sri Lanka are the only full partners. That means who can bring students from this program and teach them. It only happens in only these two universities. In fact, Sri Lanka is a recent joining. Only 2 years ago, Sri Lanka joined. But since 2014, Malaysia is the first partner in entire Asia. So only recently, Sri Lanka has joined. So master course, they have 4 semesters, and every semester, students begin with one country and they go to different country for the semester 2, and semester 3, they go to different country. And semester 4, they will end up with a thesis. This is the flow chart here. You can see how the students. So they have to study. They have to start their semester 1 in Belgium or France. Then they can choose semester 2 to the tropical countries. They can come to Sri Lanka, Africa, Malaysia, or even you can go to Guadeloupe, Caribbean island, Guadeloupe, French island. So all this course is 120 ECTS. ECTS is nothing but European Credit Transfer System, European credits. So 120 ECTS is the value of this master course. That means students have to share different credits in different universities. They will study. So they will move from one place to another place just to get. So definitely they will get a long way skills. They get independence. They know a lot of self-confidence, and they really boost their skills, flourish their skills. For Malaysia, I am declared as a local coordinator because Farid and myself, we were working together since 1995 in Mangrove Ecosystem. So with a great confidence on me, he made me the local coordinator of this. I'm also a Tropimundo Steering Board committee member and selection committee member. So I'm now basically representing Malaysia for this entire program. I'm the only one, and they have another person because in Malaysia there is a rule. You always have to have the local person, one more person. But most of the times I'm the one has to read the task, has to conduct so many things, and so on. What I'm doing, this is where the Malaysian University Vice Chancellor and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, I was able to bring them to Malaysia, to Belgium, to experience how the Tropimundo selections, we do it every year. It is a worldwide competition. You have to go through so many protocols. And also at the time, you will have a chance to exhibit your research topics over the posters. You can put your posters for the students to attract them. Okay, come to Adhikavinamya University because my team is working this one, Mangrove's working, chemistry working. So you will have a very good opportunity to explore, to exhibit yourself through the posters and through the videos to the students, international students. That's how we can really attract the students. And I was able to, being a local coordinator, I was able to receive 107 students, including 2021 batch. The best out of best students. While you are selecting the Tropimundo students, it is a very tough time. We spend nearly 7 days, day and night to go through the scrutinizing process in Belgium. Every year it takes place in Belgium. Last year we canceled the selections because of COVID. So this is even you might be surprised, only 3 students in 2021 because the Malaysia did not allow foreign students to come. So these only 3 students are happy to join online classes, but the rest of the students, they moved to Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka allowed them to go. Sri Lanka has no restriction because of the COVID. So they invited international students, but Malaysia don't want to invite any international students because of the COVID to arrest the pandemic, expansion in the country. So that kind of things, we were able to come up with 107 students from 2015 onwards. I received 117 students from 36 countries. It is a really milestone in the history of the university. Not only in Malaysia, in any university, 36 country people have studied, you can say it proudly. And they're all studied with me for 2 courses. I show you in the next slide. And as I said, some of the students are scholarship holders, and some of them even self-funded students. Coming to Malaysia, we are offering only 27 ECTS out of 120 ECTS. It's a very simple number. We are just offering them 6 courses, and I myself involved in 2 courses, which is contributing to 18 credits out of 27 credits, 18 credits on my shoulder. So I'm contributing to 18 credits out of 27 credits. And there are 2 subjects, which is oceanography and lake and terrestrial. There are electives. Students can choose either that topic, that course, or this course. So we can plan such a beautiful courses and attract the students and get the benefit best out of it. International reputation, scientific publications, international teaching, international research supervision, and our picture, Adhikavanana University picture is already international board. So that's my aim to really benefit that. And this is where we need to sell the card. Actually, India, as you know, it is one of the mega diverse nations in the world. In the world, I think there are only 17 countries. We are fortunate to have India as one mega diverse nation. Mega diverse nation is not a big definition. It's just a lot of local species and also a rich biodiversity place. So that's what makes a mega diverse nation. And India is so great that we are in the map of mega diverse map. And when you look at the critical habitats within a reachable radius of Adhikavanana University, you can look into the Kolleru Lake. So nice, and so much research needs to be done from that area. Although it belongs to maybe West Godavari, if I'm correct, but still we have access. You can do research anywhere with proper permissions, of course. And then we have a so nice, fragile and stagnant river like Godavari. And we have forest ecosystems. Maradi Mulli near Rajahmundry. So much we can even we can exploit the topics by just triggering the interest. Once we are interested, we can come up with so many topics, and you can propose the topics to the students even before they come. You will be given online access to Tropimundo program, where you can upload your thesis topics. Just 5 to 6 weeks, less than 2 months. You can get if your research is good quality, I'm sure you will end up with a good publication. That means we always have to target for a good research, not just for the time. 5 to 6 weeks, you can do good research. You can frame such a topics. And most importantly, at the end, you are coming up with a very nice estuary, Godavari estuary, and a lot of wetland ecosystems like mangroves, 200 square kilometers. If you will be surprised, I did my research for 7 years on Koringa for my PhD. You might be wondering why I did 7 years, because I investigated the vegetational compositions, flora and fauna, every 1 kilometer interval. It took me so much pain, so much energy, so much time. But at the end, I'm so happy. That is first of its kind. The research what has been done is almost first of its kind. So this is where we can really catch hold of the. We can introduce some Tropimundo students to such kind of ecosystems to do research. You just being a local person, you know the better scientific concerns. So give a concern to one student that you are already in limelight. So the role and part of AKNU by work on a Tropimundo program, we really have to striking MSc courses for 27 credits. And this is only offered for only semester 2, that is February to June. That means yearly the students come only once university, and they will learn the theoretical classes with you, practicals with you to complete their credit. And for this curriculum, you may think of ongoing biological courses, environmental courses, microbiological, biotechnological, or geospatial information. So we can develop. It's a free. There is no restriction. Only thing is there are some challenges. I tell you in my next slide. So once we were able to get this program, and this is the one and only full partner in India, entire India. Adhikavi Nannaya University is the only entire partner, only one partner in entire India. Proud. And we can witness enrollment of the students, international students every year. And that is not only because of the Tropimundo Studio, you will receive a lot of exchange students as well. Maybe they don't bring the money, but they bring a lot of scientific reputation to universities because of your summer schools, field schools, internships. A lot of students flow in. Opportunities for teaching and research to the local and international students enhances. And you can make out of publications from your MSc students and PhD students, because under exchange students, you can invite doctorate students as well from other universities. So that it is a big boost for our university. And at the same time, being the local coordinators who are managing Tropimundo program, they can go up to 3 weeks to Europe for the selection of students and so on every year under the Tropimundo Scholar Grant. So you don't have to pay from your pocket. European Commission could support you. And in addition to that, every student coming to Adhikavi Nannaya University can bring up to 500 euro, 44,000 every student can bring to university. So we can use it for lab works or teaching purpose or field works, whatsoever, that is up to us. So this is the minimum amount each student. If you get 10 students 1 year, that goes to 4 lakhs in that particular 6 months period. So now, as myself, I'm attracting up to 20 students in Malaysia. So for example, if you have a person like me who can handle 18 credits, then you just have to left with only 4 courses, planning of only 4 courses, not more than that. So you just think of it innovatively. So for example, I'm organizing a mangrove school for the students in the mangroves. So that counts for 15 credits, almost like 2 weeks to 3 weeks we stay in the mangroves. We live there. I give complete hands-on experience to the mangrove ecosystem assessment for the students. So they learn each and every component of the mangrove ecosystem, especially in relation to the vegetation dynamics. So in addition to that, I'm teaching the mangrove ecology course, so 18 credits. So if you have such kind of expertise, you can balance, and you just develop 4 courses, and then that can be defended against to the selection committee and the steering board committee, the selection of AKNU to become a partner of the Tropimundo Consortium. Okay, it is all nice. It is all nice. We have a lot of benefits to have. If we have a programs like international programs like Tropimundo, no doubt about it. But we also have to take care of some challenges. It is just it is not to make you worry. It is just a general information which you can be allied well in advance. So the courses, whatsoever you are planning, you look at the other institutions in France, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Cameroon, and Madagascar, what kind of courses. So just plan them as unique, mold them as unique, so that people can be attracted for our India and for our Indian semester. If you are offering the same courses, what the others are offering, maybe that is not so attractive. We must bring in some novelty to design of the courses. We don't have to do so much creativity, but only just mold them, make them. Then you just blend your theory with the state-of-the-art research that's very much needed, which can trigger the quality education for the universities. Blend your theory parts with the state-of-the-art research. and create some good lab facilities for them. For example, if you say GIS lab, at least the 10 people, 20 people, at least they have their lab computers. But for the homes, you don't have to give them computers. They have their own laptops. But once they come to the lab, at least our responsibility to create some lab facilities so that they can don't downgrade our efforts. And also we need to think about the bibliographic database access to the student. And a warmth care, because the students, they leave the parents behind and they come to India. So we really have to take care of them. We have to behave like brother, own brother and sisters and father, so that they never forget. So sometimes the word of mouth that matters. For example, one student who studied in Adhikavi Annaya University went back and say good things about Adhikavi Annaya University. That can bring in 10 students. Word of mouth matters in such kind of international relations. And the research just provides 6 to 8 weeks of research MSc dissertation topics. If any student is interested, you can offer this topic. But if the student is not interested, that's no problem. You don't have to worry about it. But if the student is interested, guide them nicely, because students have more choice. They can come to Adhikavi Annaya University for study, but they can do research in Malaysia also. They have a long flexibility. But if he knows a good topic in India, and he don't come to Malaysia, he will do the research in India itself. That's what we have to bind them with our knowledge to go for further expansion of the research field, the international students. And importantly, these students, whoever studied and went back, they give a blind feedback. We don't know who has given feedback. They give a blind feedback to the Propimundo committee, how the education quality and research things, and how the gestures and on. So everything they evaluate. So we really have to care about that. And importantly, promotion video, because we know how we love so much movies. Being Indians, and so Indian movies are popular everywhere. Even in Malaysia, we get release of Indian movies every week here. So such kind of a movie, 1 minute, 2 minute movie, if we can make a promotional video, corporate video for the university, that can really bring a lot of change. The video talks a lot. You don't have to talk about it. I just wanted to show you one video I recently received from Malaysia to my university, and this kind of videos are I'm highlighting. Please kindly bear with me if it takes some time to load. I just want to show you some corporate video of my Malaysian university. Hope it come on. So it is so nicely, there is no words in the video, just highlight the fields of the research. So it can give you a glimpse of research. I think I'm sorry that maybe I need to share separately this video later on, part of sharing right now, but maybe it doesn't work here. Anyway, never mind.
We will see
will
at the end of the talk.
Yes, that's fine. That's good. Thank you. Then coming to the international networking and national networking, we do have a lot of international and national networkings and so many contacts, which are especially working on the coastal habitats in India. So I'm sure once, if I mix the contacts, whichever you have it, and plot it on the Indian map, I'm sure this will be completely full. So just we have to pull the rope string, just pull the string. That's it. That means so that international. So now even despite applying your scientific projects individually, if you come up with 2-3 institutes, organizations, that has a big value. It can generate a big data as well. So this is all matters for the sponsoring agencies. So we can really improve that kind of. So this is what I wanted to show you, that even now, if you look at my personal contacts that extended more than 20 organizations all over the world. So as I said, so far I never had an opportunity to share my expertise to Indian university, how to give them some to develop. But everybody have used they attended some of my talks to attract to the Malaysian University and getting them the contacts and so on for funding and research and so on. So we have almost like so many countries: Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, China, Hong Kong, Australia. I don't need to read because Dr. Ramneshwari madam has already said a lot of things, so I don't need to repeat this all. So, for example, if you are interested in some universities in Sri Lanka, so I'm able to organize, facilitate the MOUs. But my policy is one thing: when you write the MOU, when you sign the MOUs, how much the other party is active. It is not merely signing the MOU agreement. We have to be active. So how much every year evaluation, being the MOU signed this year, what are the advancements took place? So we have to reevaluate that kind of things so that the MOU has a meaning. So I can facilitate to whichever university. I can mobilize the things for you. If you know if you want to go to Hong Kong, yes, definitely. I have a very good friend from Italy who is working with the Spire Institute of Hong Kong, with the University of Hong Kong. Yes, he's a crab specialist who reported several crab species. If you are a crab biologist, yes, I can link you up with him. So such kind of expertise, we have to just look for the right pockets for us to expand our research. So paybacks to the Adhikavi Nandaya University, yes, there are a lot of advantages being in the international and national picture, being a partner, being in the picture of national and international linkages. Yes, we can come up with the MOUs and research agreements, especially with the world-renowned institutions. They said MSc and PhD students exchange can take place. When we think of joint degree, it means outside university and your university can give only one degree for one student. It means the student spend some time here and some time there. Maybe he comes to Adhikavi Nandaya University to do research in Kakinada, Koringa mangroves, and then he will come back for the thesis protection. So it is a joint degree. Even we can think of double degree. Even you can award a degree for the student and he receives from the parent university in Europe or somewhere, he can receive the degree as well. So we need to think of that lines to boost the number of students. And as I said, in and outbound mobility for the students and staff will be really nice. They will be extremely useful for us to know. And importantly, we can also bring in acquisition of the national and international grants. In this case, I wanted to emphasize one thing on Koringa. I myself joined European Commission funded project in 1995. Actually, the project commenced in 1994 in Andhra University on Koringa mangroves. So between 1994 and 2002, there were two projects supported by European Commission. So two projects were supported, and 2002 was the last support we received from European Commission. In case we are strong team is there in the places like Adhikavi Nandaya University, why don't we think of third phase after 2 decades? See what kind of environmental changes took place. What is the prone dangers out there? So such kind of things really, maybe it's a good choice because since they already funded 2 times, I think they don't mind to go for a third time. If we apply for a third phase with some universities like Belgium and Sri Lanka and India, once we come together, why not? Can really explore that kind of Malaysia. So that kind of things we need to think about it. And this gives a postgraduate study and research opportunities for local and international students, and the national and international reputation, which is very much important, and our outreach of research to the general public and stakeholders. What most of the times the research projects are lacking. So we need to really bring this out, how best we can serve the local community, general public, how best we can help the local government, thereby to the state, and thereby to the nation. So such kind of things. So people know very nice strategy for the sustainable development, the achievement of the goals. So this is a matter of fact that come together and work together that can make a difference. I just put a tentative action plan just for 5 years because I really wanted to see that we can think of making the center or laboratory or research unit, but could be a permanent unit with a lot of input of projects, national and international projects, and also introduction of the Tropimundo courses, design and development of curriculum. And if we target for 5 years, we were able to receive only 2 batches. We were able to receive only 2 batches in the year 4 and year 5. It doesn't mean because it takes a long time. It's an international organization. We need to get into European Commission's approvals and so on. So for us, we just have to mobilize the things. Let it take its own time. At the end, we will be the beneficiaries. Whatever the seeds we are putting into the soil, it is going to be benefit our children, our university. Children means students. So our children, our students, our university. What else we want as a teacher? Holistic effort to the science, to the academy. So then we can, in the first 3 years, we can mobilize the national and overseas research MOUs and teaching, and research consultancy and sponsor projects and some workshops. So we can think of it. So with this, strongly believe that we can together make a difference. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Satyam, for your and I think we should welcome you to Nanaya family. You are already part and parcel of it, because whatever you have mentioned in the talk, like you have elaborated everything in detail, how we can go about with starting from the university level to the national and the international arenas, with different types of research studies and looking at different programs, either for the students or for the scholars and the faculty. And I wish that you will be extending all type of cooperation from your side, so that we can start initiating things at the earliest possible, because this program has to start off at the when our Vice Chancellor, Sir Professor Mokka Jagannath Garu, is here, because it's almost 1.5 years tenure that he has completed. So we don't want to waste any more time and see that this program becomes fruitful. Thank you.
Take shape. Thank you so much. And
Thank
you can expect honest support from me anytime.
Thank you. And the Kolleru Lake, West Godavari also comes under our jurisdiction only, university jurisdiction. So
really, it's wonderful.
Yes, it's East and West Godavari districts are under the jurisdiction of Nanaya University. Okay, so you can look into many other areas also.
Yes, that is just only a few thoughts in my mind.
Yeah,
outside world is much bigger than what I see here.
Yeah.
So you people can see much more things because you are currently located in that place. So I'm sure that your knowledge is so much important, and it can really benefit this kind of strategies to take a good shape in the near future.
Yeah, I think now it's the time for interaction. Maybe we can have some type of interaction, and I would request our faculty members to ask anything that he will do for us, Dr. Satyam will do for us, or we are going to go, we are going to come out with it so that this interaction will, this networking will benefit the university and to our own individual self that is there.
A small question. Can I take 1 minute off? Because
yes, sir. Definitely. We'll wait.
Sorry.
We'll wait. Meanwhile, yes. Jagan Mohan Reddy, sir, especially from sciences. Hello. Janmohan Reddy, please unmute.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Madam.
The interaction కి ఏమైనా అడగొచ్చు, మనం ఏమైనా చెప్పొచ్చు, మనం ఏం చేయగలం.
Last one question.
Even social sciences, he was saying like anything like biodiversity, both flora, fauna, everything, chemistry part, even as he told, just studies,
Yeah.
then environmental pollution studies.
The same thing, mangroves research on at Orissa, I think, Bhubaneswar. The same line he already carried his research.
That's what we can bring in more partners once this starts off. No, that's what he was saying. Like national level, we can look into other universities like from Bhubaneswar, from Pondicherry, Kerala, that is Cochin University. So on like that.
What you said, our Kolleru and East West Godavari, and we have very good scope to do research in this area. And he's having good contacts, so that sir will help us, I think.
That's what we are anticipating. I expect just now.
Yes, yes. And sir is also having very good publications, all elsewhere journals here. So looking to be very standard journals.
Srinivas Rao, sir.
Hello.
Sir, Srinivas Rao, Professor Srinivas Rao, sir.
చెప్పండి మేడం.
సార్ ఉన్నారా? మీరేమన్నా అంటే క్వశ్చన్స్ అని కాదు, ఇంటరాక్షన్ ఓన్లీ.
Already I raised some of the issues. I think he'll be having his mind at the time of my remarks related to the sedimentation, how they're.
ఎందుకంటే you can see his presentation. He has worked out a very detailed plan of action.
That's true. He made his presentation scientifically approachable and then scientifically meetable targets. Of how it is going networking as well as the bringing the students and academic, all these things he integrated. So it's a good way of presentation. We'll see how far.
That's what how it goes.
He is going to link with that. We'll verify ourselves, then we'll go forward.
Sir, Srinivas Rao, sir. What sir said that in his point, we have to go for summer or some internships at our university in this aspect, so that by creating some fund to motivate young students, even one student or two students from one department come forward. So it's like one type of initiation. What in his speech he said, like, so in that angle we have to think also in this area to do research from all the departments, like interdisciplinary or together we can do as per the national education policy. Especially summer research internships is good, I think.
కరెక్టే, బట్ ప్రస్తుత పరిస్థితుల్లో మన కోవిడ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో సమ్మర్ వెకేషన్ అనేది లేదు ప్రెసెంట్. Even we are losing the existing 10 days vacation also we left, and we are conducting the online programs that's going on. So another problem now we are facing is conducting the field works is another difficulty what we are going to have it. Joining the students and going to the field is another hurdle to us at present situation. If it is, then as you mentioned that remote sensing applications and then whatever the data it is there, meanwhile we can make them train online training. We can make GIS and remote sensing training basics. We can make them. Even we can offer it whatever the online exercise oriented at the right time. This is the time really where a student is having a lot of interest. And if you are going to make them in accessibility to that, already available exercises to the life sciences or chemical sciences or engineering sciences, even to the BTech students also, some of the young minds may be having a lot of interest. So that we will bring that knowledge, integrate that engineering knowledge, making them into the final year projects. We can make it. But conducting fieldworks as of now as per the WHO guidelines and future visions, I hope that it's not possible to conduct in the near 8 months or 10 months period.
Maybe it will be fruitful after 1 year, maybe, sir. Maybe.
Accordingly, as of now, if we have any concrete thoughts integrating with that Malaysian institute, and already if they have any online linked, academic programs, then we can give the access those who are having interest by our students. So those who are very seriously interested, otherwise providing them access and then simply leaving them.
Sir, we have to find out the serious learners. Serious.
Another important point is, even for that, better to have a little bit of interviewing the students. At least we may have at least 5 students is sufficient enough. Meantime, if they are really interested, we can give the admission to them. So for accessing only, and then doing the things, then it will be a good workful thought.
Sir, Dr. Satyam is here. We'll continue with our topic.
I'm listening.
Yeah. That's because of his presence only, I'm telling all these things.
Yeah, I know.
So, why I'm telling this, if the student is interested, then giving the access is very worthwhil.
Sir, Satyam, sir. Sir, good afternoon. This is Dr. Jagannath Reddy from Chemistry Department, sir. I am faculty of department. I have gone through your, so I have some doubts. So after going through your presentation, really it is wonderful, sir. Nice presentation. And you said that by linking of all your expertization and all your connection throughout the world, and Anna University will become very good in near future. So that's very good initiation, sir. At this junction, I also thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, who is a good academist and great researcher, by permitting these kind of webinars. Now, I want to ask one question, sir. Basically, I am from chemistry. So this mangroves, you said that how can we, as per the interdisciplinary, our part also there. So that's why, we also involve in the research, whatever the part you have given some plan also. So how to go for this kind of research with your university and our university. And the thing is, we have very good interested students. We can pick out, and even one students come out for these kind of research, it is very good because youngsters, they are ready to. But Vice Chancellor sir said that because of this corona, maybe it is not possible up to 8 to 9 months. In this period, some online training classes, some discussions, and those who are really interested only, for those people we have to arrange. And another thing what you mentioned in your talk is, there should be some at the university level, especially summer training programs or internships. If at least from one department, one student, if they come out with very serious intention and to learn all these things as a summer research programs. But it is not possible nowadays to go to field work. But online first we have to take it as initiation, and finally we can trim if the situation permits. Then students will go to this West Godavari, Kolleru, or whatever the possible areas you suggest. So with your suggestions and directions, we are ready to work for the growth of Nana University, sir. The main intention is to get very good publications for the growth of Nana University and to create very good track record with the publication. Otherwise, as 2 days back, we have conducted a webinar that how to get effective research proposals. For that, we need very good publications. We'll work on it, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, sir. Please suggest us, sir.
Thank you, Jagan garu. Actually, if I understood well the question, there are 2 things possible actually, especially in terms of students. We have to have a plan prepared, or have to have a plan in the near future. first, in Malaysia, for example, here, the students have an opportunity to do masters even by research, They don't have to attend for the classes, maybe 1 or 2 classes, just for self-improvement. So throughout the 2 years, they can do research and submit the degree. They can be masters. Probably our system is different. We have theory as well as research. So that is the one. So you, in case if you find a good student, who wants to do, for example, there are so many topics in my Mangrove, for example, we can look into the heavy metal compositions or the chemical composition of the leaves or barks or the fruit. For example, recently one of my students from Italy, she observed the mercury levels in the leaves and how they get circulated into the system. What exactly? Because mercury is one of the compounds that could be delivered through the air as well, air deposition. So such kind of research we can conduct, but we have to have a plan for it. First, we have to have a good student, and then, okay, if that particular aspect, if you wanted to see the mangrove usefulness of the leaves in terms of, because there are so much chemical compounds have been found in the mangroves. There is a big reviews available, chemical compounds in the mangroves. So if there are any that compound for example, I would say there is one species called Avicennia, which is common in Coringa. If that leaf of that particular species has a chemical constituent of uh, uh, a good food for a fry or a fingerling or an adult or any, that means you are linking up your topic with slowly the biology group and see the benefit, how it is really, maybe if the fish, that chemical compound can be cured, some kind of a disease or so on. So such kind of things we really have to uh, uh, plan well. So once you found such kind of students, then we can trigger, we can exchange one-to-one with the student together, conversations, and develop where exactly my part comes into picture. If that is the case, we forget about the field works now, because it is even there are no flights between India and Malaysia now at this moment. So we can forget about the flights, field works, but at least some development of the topic could be focused, and then frequent interactions. Because for the research, first of all, they have to do some background work. That means literature search, and then see the topic has been, whether it is brings any novelty or no novelty. We don't have to open the same banana again. So we just have to bring in something new, innovative for the science. So such kind of things we can tune. Then I can bring you and me, and then I can introduce some other lab also from Europe or something. So we three can come together to give a guidance for that particular student. And we can decide whether he is a master student or PhD. Mostly in India, I believe it's mostly for PhD student, so that she or he can come to Malaysia for 1 year or so, to train here for some techniques, whatever the lab facilities have, we can use it and go back to Nanaya University for the thesis. So such kind of arrangements could be made. But only thing is, unless we don't have a clear-cut idea on what to work, it is difficult to say, because even the facilities are limited. So we have to see whether that facility, what you need, is available in my university or not. If it is available, then I can immediately bring you in. So, but if it is not available, then I have to link up with someone others elsewhere. So that kind of things we really need to work on. That can bring a better planning. So that could start with one student. That is also a good beginning. That could be a good beginning. So that the research that can prompt other students also to go in the same direction. So that is my personal view. Actually, that's what. So that we can slowly strengthen uh, increase the students' curiosity towards the research, and we can increase our reputation, as you said, reputation networking and Adhikavan University reputation. So publications is the one that ultimately depends on how good scientific task we are handling. So if we are handling the same task that has been done by 100 people before and there is no novelty out of it, then it is very hard to publish. So we always bring in some novel ideas to come up with this. So it is not necessarily to be sky touching, but it is at least reasonable scientific interest must be there. We don't need to go for a noble science research. Just go at least for a moderate research that can brings in, because Coringa has a lot of mangroves. There is not so much research investigations carried out on this particular topic. So this is where your topic matters for Coringa and the local livelihoods and so on. So such way we can project it. Try to project. So if there are any such ideas, please don't worry. You can share with me. I can guide you. Sir. I can guide you in the sense what way I can help you. I can immediately. That's what I mean. Did I miss anything? Point?
Sir, thank you, sir. For actually, what you said is correct, sir. That finding a very good student who is having a real interest and making that literature review available in the Sci-Hub or whatever internet. So making that the student should come with a vast reviews, studying of reviews, especially what you said is exactly correct. So studying, then only a student will become a most interested candidate. Otherwise, we cannot say anything.
Yeah, exactly. So
really,
once we, that is very much important, and that can give them very good understanding on what has been done and what is still lacking, how she can or he can move into further direction. So self-curiosity can lead a better research than we prompt. Once we keep on prompting, they don't really perform good research. That should come from self-bound research. So,
yes, sir. If I found those kind of people, definitely I will come to you and
sure, definitely.
I will
My doors are my doors are open, sir. My doors are open.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because some students are energetic and enthusiastic students are there, but sometimes lack of
Indians
guidance.
always work very hard, sir. No doubt. No, Indians are always remarkable people. No doubt about it. So I know Nannaya University has so much wealth of information. So many wonderful faculty like you and Madam Ramaneshwari Garu and so on. So they are really peers. They're nice people.
And as you said that now, even though this is a pandemic situation, we can go through some online and interaction. Whoever the interested candidates who come forward and will nurture. And I request you to nurture them and to mold them for the benefit of not only Nannaya University, for the nation, sir.
Exactly, sir. Definitely, sir. Definitely. Especially, my doors are open. I'm always there to help you. No problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Definitely, I will contact you.
Thank you.
I will contact you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Satyam, I just wanted to inform you that we have good computer science department. Excellent. And also management department. Professor S. Teki, sir, he has been doing many management approaches and financial approaches for the study of the ecosystems. I think you should be looking forward in that direction also, not only social science.
I think we can make use of this computer science laboratory for one of the courses.
Yes, sir.
And spatial science informations and so such kind of things. So once we really, if my talk is provoking and the points what have been informed are promising, then definitely we can think working on the base.
Sir, your talk is provoking only. Is excellent talk. Your talk is.
What we have in geology, we have a course of earlier MSc geoinformatics.
Geoinformatics.
Yeah, earlier. But we are going to establish the GIS lab also within that. And not only here, even some of the students within the department of engineering also, some of the students are also interested, some of the students. Even life sciences also they'll be coming. So only thing is we can make it interdisciplinary oriented study making use for the remote sensing and GIS.
Yeah.
So another important task is, I think, connecting the people, hands-on training up to which level they need. Suppose if a student is going to be needing for spatial data and then registration of the data and then spatial extrapolations and interpolations, all those things, and analytical and interpretation skills up to that level. If they need at the basic beginning level, then we can make it a program of basic exercises, so that if a student is going to be other than the already exposed, so we can make them beginning exercises, linking to them, and then learning, and then they'll make use of these GIS and remote sensing applications. I think so.
Yeah, that's nice, sir. Actually, yeah, sorry if I interrupt you.
No problem, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, GIS is one of the beautiful tool, and everybody is catching hold of the particular tools to analyze spatial information from the remote sensing data, and most recently with the drone data, drone derived data. So this is quite playing this kind of aerial images and spaceborne images are playing a crucial role for the monitoring benefit of the natural ecosystem. So it could be a background of a engineering background guy, or a natural sciences background guy, or a botany sciences background guy, or a GIS expert. So definitely they have to go to the field now. So the field means there is an ecosystem out there. So we can make use of that particular ecosystem. You are saying the basics, yes, students need basics. Yes, that is very much important, because not everyone is exposed to the GIS before. But at the same time, if the student, after learning the basics, how best they can incorporate, for example, the basics means how to get a satellite image free, how to download a satellite image free, and then open it in the GIS and do some kind of classification. That is the basic element. But that application point of view, that concerned lecturer can guide them. For example, that kind of basic, they can take Coringa mangrove satellite image and try to analyze it and see what are the difficulties. And at the same time, students also must be self-provoking. Provoking, that means they really have to be more proactive to learn the things from the supervisor. And the good thing, what I observed with the international students is, even Indian students, they're quite hardworking. So these international students, and when I compare with the local students here in Malaysia, and the international students, they're really committed, more committed. Maybe because of the local situations, the local students are not that much committed, but I always prompt them to link up with the international students so that they will be encouraged good enough. So once you said, yeah, the remote sensing images are quite easily available. Even we can go for the data. You said long time, there is so much data is available, but it's not accessible, as you said in the beginning. So it is, for example, I myself went to Delhi naval base to look into the Coringa images, aerial images from 1920s. And so, there were aerial images for Coringa and even admiralty charts from Coringa from 1986, 1896. So long. Even the information of satellite data will be surprised. Even I used the satellite data of 1960. Sometimes we don't believe. There are data available, but only thing is that accessibility is the constraint always for us.
No doubt at all. No doubt at all. The availability data will be there, even though in India. But the point is that the resolution of the data is very important point. How best we are going to integrate. That is a point. See, even the coastlines, which are going to be right now under restriction in the survey of India, but they may not be possible to have the access. If we do officially, then there is a possibility of accessing concern to this mangroves. So no doubt at all. But the thing is, what you mentioned already, even now, the NRSA is making available this old data. So student point of view, only, I mean, just my focus is towards the students, how best they can extract, and then applications, what you mentioned, concerned discipline-oriented guide will guide them.
Yeah.
No doubt at all. So we can do something.
Yeah, definitely, sir. I strongly believe that we can
Yeah.
make a difference, for no doubt.
Yeah.
And also, as you said, there is a lot of data, but the selection of data is also important, as you know, the purpose of the objective of the study. So how resolution really matters. So in such cases, if it is really some critical habitat and reachable, easily reachable, and if we have no administrative problems from the security side, even we can take the drone images, which are very good resolution, and then they can apply instead of satellite data. But that depends on how big the area they choose. So that all matters. And once the topics are triggered by the student or by the supervisors, I think we can tune it. We can slowly tune it as per the constraints and elaborate. That is within our task.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Any other participant? Do you have any questions, faculty members?
I must have made them bored. It's so long talk. Sorry.
I think maybe we will take some initiative from our side after discussing with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. And we will definitely launch this platform
Yes,
of
looking forward.
interacting.
Great.
Yes. And now,
So much.
thank you once again, Dr. Satyam, for being here. And it is time to propose vote of thanks. I request Dr. Raju Lakshmi from Department of Physics.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Very good afternoon to all. I am delighted with the audience and I'm extremely honored and humbled by the elite gathering. On behalf of University College of Science and Technology, Adikavi Nannaya University, I would like to express my gratitude to the president of today's program, Dr. K. Ramneshwari ma'am, Principal, UCST, for organizing such a wonderful event. I would like to thank our chief guest for today's program, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Mokka Jagannatha Rao Garu, for taking his time off from his busy schedules and providing his valuable insights for the global collaboration. I also wish to express my gratitude to our guest of honor, Registrar, Professor T. Ashok Garu. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Professor S. Teki, Principal, UCSC, Convener, Board of Research Studies, for giving his remarks on how to build our nation. I may like to express our sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Dean Academic Affairs, Professor Y. Srinivas Rao Garu, for his gracious presence and for giving his views on sustainable development of environment. A big thank you to our guest, international expert, Dr. Bera Satyanarayana Garu, Associate Professor, Institute of Oceanography and Environment, for his efforts towards opportunities for capacity building and international networking, and his motivational views on how to acquire knowledge on inland or coastal ecosystems and their benefits to future generations. Further, we are grateful to Dr. B. Jaganmohan Reddy Garu, EC member, for his views on this event. I would like to thank Dr. V. Persis ma'am, Principal, University College of Engineering, Dr. K. Subbarao Garu, Principal, University College of Education, Professor K. Ramesh Garu, Special Officer, Dr. J. Sunita ma'am, Principal, Government College Rajahmundry. Finally, I want to thank all the participants, faculty members, research scholars, and all of you present here for taking valuable time of your day to join us for this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Raju Lakshmi.
Thank you.
And I think, thank you once again, Dr. Satyam. And yeah, you have thought for the university what we could not see. Thank you very much once again. We will be in touch.
Thank you so much, one and all, and my humble greetings to everybody.
To the university.
Thank you.
Thank you,
We
sir.
expect
Thank
a
you.
great association with our university.